it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Urban Decay Wild West palette. Now, I ordered this from Sephora's website for $49 on release day, which was February the 8th. It is available right now on Sephora's website and Urban Decay's. I think it will be available everywhere else on February the 28th, and it retails for $49. So the outside of the packaging on this is just stunning. It's like this really pretty iridescent snake skin, and I was hoping that the colors would match this a little bit more on the inside, but it is still better than what I thought it would be. Some of the pictures online made it look very much like it was lacking some depth, and this definitely has more depth to it than I thought it did. So we're gonna go ahead and swatch her out, and then we're gonna do an eye look, and we're gonna see if it's good Urban Decay quality or bad Urban Decay quality, because we know Urban Decay can be good and it can be bad. So we're gonna start off with, this is the first shade, which is Standoff, which is that's like a setting shade. Then we have Spur, almost the same, but a little bit more yellow to it. Nudie, which is my skin color on my fingers. Hold'em, which is a metallic gold. So let's go ahead and swatch those. Standoff, Spur, Nudie, Hold'em. Okay, so I like Hold'em. I mean, at this point, that's the only shade you can see a whole lot on my skin. I mean, like the first shade really just disappeared. And the other two, you can kind of see them. But I have self-tanner on, but not on the back of my hand, because like I wash my hand after I do it. Then we have Cowboy Rick. That is a really pretty silver. Laredo, which is a cool tone nude. I like that shade. Bud, which to me is more of like a metallic turquoise. Rustler, which is definitely a metallic bronze. So we've got Cowboy Rick, Laredo. Do I need one more? No, because there's only 12 shades. Bud and Rustler. Oh yeah, the metallics in this are pretty. Cowboy Rick, whenever it's on your skin, it does scream more champagne-y than silver, but it's still a pretty color. Then we have Ghost Town, which is more of like that burnt orange, almost tumbleweed shade. Whiskey, which is a deeper brown. Tex, which is that, and then Pony Up. I don't know if y'all know who Tex Ritter is. Pony Up is a beautiful charcoal gray, and I am in love with that shade Tex. If it performs that way, I am excited. So, Ghost Town, Whiskey, Tex, and Pony Up. Okay, so these swatched beautifully. This feels like the good Urban Decay formula, which makes me happy because I spent $49 on it. You know, I don't want to spend my money on a dud, but this is really pretty, y'all. Okay, anyways, Tex Ritter is like an old school cowboy. He was like in like the old school cowboy movies. Anyways, John Ritter, he was on Three's Company. That was his son. He is from the town I am at, which is Nederland, Texas. So it's a tiny little town. So we have a park here called Tex Ritter Park. So, and no, just because I live in Texas does not mean that everyone rides a horse around everywhere. You know how many times I've gotten asked that? In real life, yes. Especially like when we first moved to California and stuff. So, I think we're gonna start off, this is a BK Beauty 201. I'm gonna go into the shade Standoff. I'm gonna pull that brush out of there. So there is some kick up in the pan, which I know some people get bothered by, but for me, I mean, really, that isn't anything that I worry about. And a lot of people love Urban Decay and still buy the Naked palettes, and I was like, this has some interesting colors in it. And I wanted to see if it was the good Urban Decay formula or the bad Urban Decay formula. But so far, okay, I just used that to set my eye primer, which I am using the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. But I did want to see, I ordered the ColourPop Animal Crossing collection. It came in. I used some of the shadows on Sunday for our live. And I didn't know if y'all wanted a dedicated review to that because I think that's going to be extremely limited edition. They are going to restock it on Ulta's website on the 14th. But I don't know if y'all are interested in seeing it because that was just for the collection part for me. So I'm using the shade Spur as a transition shade. So, I mean, you can see it doing a little bit, but not a whole lot of nothing. So I'm gonna try to go in with nudie over it because that's typically, like, I try to build shadows. Again, there's a lot of kick up, but I think that the problem with Spur and nudie both, Spur is a little bit more yellow undertone than my complexion, but nudie is very, very close to my skin tone. So that's part of the problem. So, since that's going like that, I'm gonna try it Laredo. Because I think doing like a cool tone look might be kind of cool. So let's see. Oh yes, Come Forth pigment. See how you can see how that's much more cool toned? I like that. I like Laredo. Now I've got Amarillo by Morning stuck in my head. Isn't that by George Strait? Amarillo by Morning. I can't remember the rest of the words. I remember that part. Are there other states that have as many songs about them as Texas? Especially country songs. All my exes live in Texas. I cannot sing. But this is how my brain works. I really like that shade. That is the depth. Don't poke yourself in the eye with your brushes. But yeah, that's the depth that I want. But that's my brain, how it works. It's like, oh, let's kind of go a little cuckoo. Okay, so I'm gonna try the Urban Decay brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Whiskey just to kind of deepen up the transition a little bit. Because what I think I want to do, oh yeah, I think Whiskey will lean both cool and warm depending on your look. I think I want to use text under my eye. Like I want to keep this a very nude and neutral look. I do those from time to time. I know that's like unheard of, but I like both neutral and colorful eyeshadows. What I want out of a palette though is I like to have a lot of depth. Like, I don't mind if you're nude, but I want something that I can make grungy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all haven't noticed, I tend to lean towards more grungy shades, or at least I do in my opinion. So I'm gonna grab, this is the Cleona, I don't even know what brush this is. There's not a brush number on it. Anyway, it's like a smaller blending brush, and we're gonna go into the shade Pony Up, which is that deepest charcoal shade. It picks up nicely, and use that to deepen up the outer V. Yes, pigment. Okay, Urban Decay, where have you been? This is what I missed. Ooh, look at that. Okay. Because let's face it, a lot of people want neutral palettes. I mean, not everybody's going to buy all the rainbow. They don't want to taste the Skittles rainbow, you know? And that's okay. Most people want neutral. You know, the world is big enough for everyone's preferences. Okay, so I'm going to take that 201 and really kind of go back over and make sure everything's nice and blended. But yeah, that's really freaking pretty. So what I think I'm going to do, where's the flat brush? I just cleaned brushes yesterday. So I'm gonna grab, this is a Sigma eye shading, the E55. I'm gonna take some glitter glue because I do want to use the bud shade, that teal turquoise shimmer on my lid. So I'm just taking a dollop. Do a dollop, do a dollop. Yes, I'm weird. And we're gonna take and pat that out so that way we can apply the bud shade. Because I think that that would be super pretty all over the lid, and then using like Hold'em or Cowboy Rick. So it's picking up nicely. Okay, so it's not the most metallic, but again, not everybody is like me. But it is a beautiful color. And I do think that it is definitely one that you do need glitter glue with, because I think if you didn't, because if you saw what it looked like, so I'm gonna take and swatch it again. See what I'm saying? It has much more intensity with the glitter glue. So to get to that kind of color that I prefer, I would use a glitter glue. There we go. So, let's blend it in. Perfect. Okay. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good so far. I may use like a teal gel eyeliner or something like on the top lash. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna go off camera though, do the rest of my face. We'll come back, do the lower lash line, and talk about my thoughts on the palette. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I did use the Melt Raw Honey blush, and then I used this side as my highlight. I also used the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer for my bronzer today, and then I did line my lower lash line and my upper lash line with the Slate shade from Melt. So you can see I even did a little bit of a wing. It looks really, really pretty together. And so far I'm not having like major amounts of creasing in comparison to what I normally do. So it's holding up pretty well because I've been gone a while. So we're gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line and talk about my thoughts and opinions on this palette. So I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm going to go into the shade Text, which which is almost the same color as that Spliff eyeliner. So you see what I'm saying? When I add that, you see how pretty that makes it, where it's like, it gives you some color, but without it being crazy. Because sometimes, you know, you want to wear some color, but if you're just beginning to play with color, or you're not sure what's going to work for you, taking and using it underneath your eye and then doing neutrals on top is always like a good favorite look for me. See how pretty that is? Now you don't have to go as heavy-handed as I do, because let's face it, you know, I really love to apply massive amounts of eyeshadow. I mean, that's just my nature. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a tiny brush. This is the Lunar Beauty LB6, and we're gonna go into the shade Cowboy Rick. Picks up nicely, so I'm going to kind of pack that on there a little bit, and then I'm gonna grab this as the Essence setting spray. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'm wearing on my lips, I'm wearing the new Pat McGrath liquid lipstick in Divine Nude. I'm trying to test and compare those to the old liquid lipsticks. Most people don't know that Pat McGrath used to have liquid lipsticks. So I'm just applying that Cowboy Rick shade in my inner corner, because that's part of the reason why I even used like the Melt Raw Honey, is I wanted to kind of keep this more of a cooler tone look, because I think it's kind of interesting. But yeah. What do you think? I think it looks super pretty. Don't eat setting spray. I don't recommend it. I'm gonna grab my Charlotte Tilbury. I always want to say that, like Margaret Candleflame by Trace is Dead. She needs to come up with her own Gucci lipstick. That's something I would love to see, is Trace is Dead collaborate with Gucci. I think that would be hilarious, because I think she could do something really cool for the brand. Anyways, so this is the completed look. What do you think? I'm actually pretty impressed by this palette. And I used 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 12 shades. So I mean, I got a lot of use. So I think that this is, if you're looking for a neutral palette that has a pop of teal, because I would not say that this is a pop of blue. This definitely pulls more teal or turquoise. Then this might be a good palette for you. I would wait and buy it on sale, because that's just how I am. I know the Sephora spring sale's coming up pretty soon. But yeah, I really like how it looks. What do you think? But yeah, I guess that's it. I will leave it linked in the description box, and I will use probably an affiliate link. So if you buy off of it, I do earn a small commission. I mean, it's not anything to write home to mom about, but you know what I mean. But I guess that's it, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.